Raider Nation, what's going on? Today's Raiders Report is brought to you by NaVorro. If you guys like craft beer, well, guess what? I got an awesome offer for you guys. Go to NaVorro.com right now. Sign up for free. And you're going to get $10 off on your very first purchase when you use promo code CHATSPORTS. I'm drunk in love on the Raiders, and the first news bit I got for you guys coming up here is Jon Gruden. He's still proud of his team. So Gruden said that he was proud of his team following his press conference and stated that the Raiders' schedule has actually been really tough. And I didn't really understand how you could be proud of an 0-3 team. And then I went back and I looked at it. I mean, they played the Rams, they've played the Dolphins and the Broncos. Those teams combined right now are 8-1. So I think ultimately they've played those teams really, really tough for 3 quarters. And then the last quarter has been the frustrating one, right? So, guys, I want to know from you, though, one word to describe your feelings towards the Raiders right now. One word. It could be pissed. It could be frustrated. It could be drunk because maybe you drank too much NaVorro. Like, one word to describe your feelings toward the Raiders right now. Guys, be descriptive. I don't want you to hold anything back. And anybody who's watching the show knows that this is a guy that I've talked about all offseason. And the next one coming up here, my next news bit, is a guy on NaVorro Bowman. Now, NaVorro Bowman absolutely ripped the Raiders this past week, and he said something that I thought was pretty interesting, right? So, he said this. He said, "Karma is real. Hashtag I'm still waiting." NaVorro Bowman was a guy who led the Raiders in tackles last year with 89 in only 10 games and was a main focal point of that defense. The fact that he's already hitting up the Raiders on Twitter, hey, maybe he could be a guy that could be considered coming back. You never really know. But Bowman continues to rip the Raiders. Wasn't too crazy about that. What I am crazy about is craft beer because I love craft beer. And NaVorro, guys, they're hooking me up, and they want to hook you up too. So what you need to do is you need to go to NaVorro.com. Sign up is for free, okay? Sign up for free. You guys can discover rare craft beers all over the country. And you're going to get a nice little post notification when you sign up for free. And you can see these dope craft beers. And guess what? They can be delivered right to your door. Use promo code CHATSPORTS for $10 off your very first purchase. My next news bit I got for you guys, well, the Raiders, they signed a rookie kicker. The Arizona Cardinals released undrafted rookie kicker Mack for the season, and Coach Steve Wilkes has raved about him since, believing he would have a job in the NFL somewhere this year. Well, guess what? He does now. Mike Nugent is dealing with a hip injury, so Oakland needed a kicker. McCrane now has his chance, and it might only be a temporary chance, but at least this guy has a chance, to show what he's got and potentially earn a starting job. Raider Nation, I want to say thank you so much for tuning into the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And make sure you guys check out NaVorro because they're sponsoring today's Raiders Report. Before I get into my rumors, I want to give a shout out to one of my friends. His name is Bazad, and he's like, "Yo, Mitch, is that you?" Bazad, what's going on, man? I appreciate you checking me out at the gym. Well, maybe not checking me out at the gym, but being a loyal follower of the Raiders Report. So shout out to you, Bazad. Zolfagar, shout out to you, my man. All right, guys, if you guys are new to the show, I got some rumors coming up here, and you're going to need to understand my Raider rumor scale. So if a rumor's 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that, this is not going to happen. 1 Chucky head, a small shred of truth, 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking 50-50. 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. 100% this rumor is going to happen. The first rumor I got for you guys coming up here on the board, heat was a factor in the Week 3 loss for the Raiders. This one was interesting when I heard about it, and I'm going to give it 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. Now, Jon Gruden said that the heat was a factor, but I don't want to put that as the sole blame for why the Raiders weren't able to close this one out. So, it was hot, it was humid, that's just Miami. I get it. And Gruden stated that the weather was a major factor in why a lot of the players were dealing with cramps. Like, it's why that they fell apart at the end of the game because their players were getting hurt because they were cramping up and they couldn't have the defense that they wanted to run. So I think that was a big reason for why, weather was a factor. So, guys, I want to know from you, though, okay? If the Raiders start 0-4, will Jon Gruden be on the hot seat? So I was talking about it being hot in Miami, but I'm telling you right now, if Gruden starts 0-4, that dude's going to be on the hot seat a little bit. I still don't think he's obviously going to get fired. He's there for 10 years, $100 million. So, but if the Raiders start 0-4, will Jon Gruden be on the hot seat? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Guys, if I was sweating right now, you wouldn't be able to tell because the clothes that I'm wearing are from Mizzen+Main. And if you guys want to wear awesome dress shirts, okay, with sweat wicking technology, they're super flexible. Chicks, I'm telling you, they dig them. You guys can go buy yourself one right now. www.comfortable.af. Shout out to Mizzen+Main for hooking me up with this dope shirt. The next rumor I got for you guys coming up here on the board, are the Raiders the worst fourth quarter team in the NFL? I'm giving this one 4 Chucky heads, and believe it, baby, because the Raiders are the worst fourth-quarter team in the NFL, and stats prove that. The Raiders have blown 2 fourth-quarter leads. I know I don't have to tell you guys that. It's been painful for me, too. And they've been outscored in the fourth quarter 37-3. That's disgusting. Now, I will say I think they are a totally different team in the fourth quarter, and maybe it's because of age. They are the oldest team in the NFL with an average age of 28.6. And maybe their players, well, they're just getting tired because old age is setting in. But I will say this, the Raiders need to get better in the fourth quarter because they're not an 0-3 team. And until they figure out what the hell they're doing wrong in the fourth quarter, they're going to continue to lose games down the stretch. Next rumor coming up, is there trouble in the organization? Is there trouble going on in Raider land? I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking, so this is a 50-50 one. Now, during Gruden's recent press conference, the coach made a cryptic comment, which I think opened my eyes. There are a lot of stories behind the scenes, is his exact quote. Now, according to sources, Gruden essentially has his own staff that helps him judge talent and make roster decisions. Gruden has left the draft board and has left his own board, and he's totally separating himself and this other staff, apparently, from guys like Reggie McKenzie and other people making decisions on the Raiders. Now, I can't imagine having split personality is a good thing, especially inside the locker room. So the fact that these guys might not be getting along, it looks like there's a little bit of trouble in the organization. Maybe also the 0-3 start has a little bit to do with it. The next rumor coming up, are the Raiders a bottom 3 team? Well, we're about to release our power rankings tomorrow on NFL Daily here at Chat Sports. But I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. And the people that are talking are the consensus big type sports organizations out there. You know, your NFLs, your ESPNs, all those other ones. They're putting the Raiders in the bottom 3. Now, the Raiders are one of only 3 teams that still do not have a win, so I can get them being that low. But they have had a tough schedule. Opponents are 8-1. The Raiders' opponents are 8-1. Rams, best team in the NFL. Broncos, 2-1. And the Dolphins, sure, not that great, but they're still 3-0. So, guys, I want to know from you, okay? How many games are the Raiders going to win this season? When I first opened this show up, I said 9 wins for the Raiders. I'm going to drop that down maybe to 8 or 7. I still think that this team can get it going a little bit because I do still think that they are a really talented team. They just got to get it together. Got to get it together. And if you guys want to bet on the Raiders, this is what you need to do. You guys got to go to BetDSI, the best place to bet on the Oakland Raiders. Go to chatsports.com/bet, okay? Chatsports.com/bet. You're going to use that promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What does that mean, Mitch? If you put down $100, you get $120 for free. It is the best deal on the internet. Bet your Bippy on that. Chatsports.com/bet. All right, the next rumor I got for you guys, Khalil Mack over Jon Gruden. What the heck does that mean, Mitch? Well, there was a poll, and Raider Nation would rather have Khalil Mack over Jon Gruden. I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. So SB Nation ran a poll, and they asked that simple question. Would you want Khalil Mack or Jon Gruden right now? Would you want Khalil Mack or Jon Gruden right now? 65% of those votes were in favor of Mack. Now, y'all are like, why is Mack on my screen? Why are we talking about Khalil Mack on the Raiders Report? Because he's still relevant. So, I want to know from you guys, who would you rather have on the Raiders right now? Would you want Khalil Mack back, or do you want to stick with Gruden? Give me a heart for Gruden. Give me a thumbs up for Mack. My last rumor I got for you guys, it's a good one because it's straight from you. Is it time to bench Derek Carr? I'm giving this one 0 Chucky heads. Tuck rule, tuck that. Now, on my last show that I did for the recap of Week 3, I asked you guys, is it time to bench Derek Carr? And it was like a unanimous decision that the Raiders should bench Derek Carr. Guys, why? Why would we bench Derek Carr? I understand he's been struggling, especially in the fourth quarter, but A.J. McCarron is our backup, and he's the only guy on the roster. A.J. McCarron is not better than Derek Carr. Now, here are the fourth quarter stats, because I think the first 3 quarters, Carr's been great. The fourth quarter is where he's killing it. Killing us. 22 of 32, 232 yards, 0 touchdowns, but 3 really costly interceptions, which is why a guy like Derek Carr is even being, I don't know, rumored to being benched. So, Derek Carr, please don't bench him. All right. So, guys, I'm going to ask you now. You guys can actually comment here on Facebook and on YouTube. Should the Raiders bench Derek Carr? Yes is a laughing face because I think that's a joke, and no is an angry face. So, should the Raiders bench Derek Carr? For any of you guys who are laughing at that, I think you're drunk, right? And if you're going to be drunk, there's only one place that I would ever do it. It's Tavour, okay? I love Tavour, and I love craft beers, and I love being able to discover rare craft beers that you can't find in stores. And if you guys love craft beers, Christmas is a few months away. It's an amazing gift for anybody out there, I promise you, because it's original. Go to Tavour.com, okay? Tavour.com. Sign up is for free. Free sign up. That's pretty lit. And you're going to get $10 off your very first purchase when you use promo code CHATSPORTS. Cheers to you, Tavour.